Please give it up for Mr. Mayan Frisbee.
Good evening, everyone. So my daughter is 17. She'll be 18 years old in September. But my experience goes way before she was born. We're going to go back to summer of 1991. I'm from South Philly. How many people from South Philly in here? Okay, just one just raised his hand. Okay, I'm from South Philly. I'm proud. South Philly born and bred. And I didn't really have a lot of drama with the police, didn't really have a lot of interaction. I lived in a place called Martin Luther King Plaza, Saigon Projects. It sounds all, pretty, but it was the projects and it was rough and I was used to, it was the crack era. I was used to drama with police. I was used to seeing people being arrested and beat down and all that kind of stuff. But it just wasn't my experience because I was a nerd. I ran track. I just wasn't in the streets. So one day, this is summer of 1991, I'm with my friend Keisha and Joe. We're at 22nd and Christian. So we're just chilling. We're coming from the store, getting Chico sticks and Pepsi and Doritos, after school stuff, right? And a cop pulls up, two cops, they jump out the car, assume the position, get on the wall. So Keisha and Joe, they go right and they get on the wall. They're used to it. And I'm like, wait a minute, we ain't do nothing. And we just walking, we got Chico sticks and Pepsi. We ain't, we just chilling. It's a nice spring day. And he said, what's the problem? He said, you heard what I said, get up against the wall. I said, no. Like, you gonna tell me what I did first. Like, what did we do? Like, we just chilling, we're walking. And he said, what's your name? I said, my name is Mr. Now, the only people, with a name like Mr., the only people that have a problem with it are white men. My whole entire life. Like, black people go, oh, okay, Mr., okay. The white people be like, oh, can I call you Sonny Boy? Can I call you Junior? No, bro, you're gonna call me Mr. So he had a problem with that. So now we got the back and forth going because of this. And he said, where's your ID? And I'm 16 years old. At this time, I was a student at a little school called Bodine. I'm 16 years old. We don't have ID. I'm not driving, you know what I mean? And so we're going back and forth, and he calls for backup. So now 2 more cars come, and now it's 6 cops all together, and they're harassing me, like Keisha and Joe still holding the wall, they're harassing me about my name and how he doesn't believe it. And he said, well, we got a lot going on these. This is South Philly. It's people selling crack and drugs, and I don't know who you are. I said, officer, let me explain something to you. I have on a airbrush jumper with Belle Biv DeVoe across the front, white Reeboks, and a neon green Gap shirt. I would be the worst drug dealer in the history of South Philly if I was out here hustling. I would be the worst. I think the hustlers got on jeans, Timbs, and white tees, right? I said, so if you think that I really look like the Belle Biv DeVoe backup dancer at 26 and Christian, like if you really think I'm selling drugs, bro, you ain't never gonna make detective. So we're like, if this battle's going on, Keisha and Joe are sweating, and they're just like, yo. So him and his co-workers, they're making fun of my name. They're just having a whole run at it. But before they finally let us go, I was worked up. I felt bad for Joe and Keisha because to them, they were just like, dude, like, you made more of that than what it should have been. You should have just listened, just fall in line, put your hands up, and they'll let us go. They'll pat us down. We're not hustling. We're not out here doing nothing wrong. And that kind of stuck with me because it was the, just living as rough as South Philly was. That was like my first interaction where it just got heated back and forth and it was contentious. So fast forward, I went to Penn State, I graduated, I started working at the Daily News. I was at the Philadelphia Daily News starting summer 1997. And I was a police reporter. That was my first beat for the first year and a half. And I remember, rough, right? When you work in Philly, it's just like you're doing homicides every day, fires, all of the madness. You remember, Hillary, you remember the days. So I was sitting, this is just like you said, a full circle moment. I'm sitting at my desk, my editor comes over, he taps me on the shoulder and he says, we had an officer that saved a baby from a burning building. Like a hero, something positive. I'm like, good, I'm not writing about a murder for tomorrow. He said, I'm gonna transfer the call. He transfers the call. I said, hello, Mr. Frisbee, Philadelphia Daily News. Mr. Frisbee, I know you. I said, where do you know me from? How do you know me? Are you from South Philadelphia? I said, yes, I am. I met you before. I said, what's your name? He tells me his name and the beat he works on. I said, no, sir, you didn't meet me. You harassed me. You terrorized me. You was tripping, is what you were doing. It wasn't pleasant. Don't act like we met under good circumstances. And he said, well, maybe you're confusing me with somebody else. I said, you know how I know I'm not? Because you're the only police officer that I've ever had an incident with. And he was just stuck on the other end of the phone. And I said, you know what? You have a good day. I ain't writing about you and nobody else. I said, that's what you said. Wait, but oh my God, I just wish for everybody that they could have that full circle moment. I wish for everybody that they could put the phone down when my boss is standing over me like, wait, what's going on? I said, we ain't writing about him. Who else saved somebody out of the building? And he was stuck. And I said, yo, I wish it for everybody to, and I know that it won't come for everybody in the room, everybody who's been harassed, the traffic stop that went left, you know, whether it was a school cop, whatever the drama it was. So I just want to bring it full circle and say that I started out by saying I have a daughter. She's 17, she'll be 18 in September, but it's just as bad. It's just as bad because she has friends. And she's we're on a planet where Sandra Bland happened. And before, I have to admit, I did used to like walk around feeling like, okay, I gotta worry about all these boys and my mentor, but I don't gotta worry, at least I got a girl. Thank God I had a daughter. But now it's just as bad. Like, you know what I mean? We watch the news every day. We watch the clips. The clip in Texas at the pool party. Y'all remember that? That's stuck with me. That bothered me. So I think that the talk, as rough as it is like it has to be with our daughters also. A lot of the focus, and I know that's the theme of the day, talking with our sons. It has to be with our daughters also. And we have to, you know, I have a good mentor in Michael Cord, who's a lawyer, who tells me all the time, make sure that you just you want to arrive alive. You know what I mean? You just want to just deal with it, do what they say, whatever, and just handle it later. And that's what I kind of like in the process of teaching my daughter. And it is a walk. It is a thin line because you don't want to like, you know, feel like you're raising a coward, like to just be quiet and just, tuck your tail. But that's the reality. And I think that that's my word today is that having a daughter is just like, you know, Sandra Bland especially has like taken me out of that sense of complacency, like, oh, I'm all good. I got a girl. It's just as bad. So I'm looking forward to keeping the conversation going. Thank you so much for having me today.